Hey guys, so I want to do a video on another little project I'm doing. If you look at one of the videos I did earlier, I had a problem with my ice maker that's in my kitchen. It's a Samsung. It was freezing over, so there's a way that you can go in and set it to defrost mode, get it to defrost, get all the ice out of it and get it running again. Well, I noticed a little problem. During that time, I didn't have any ice, and I like drinking a cold drink throughout the day. So I do use a lot of ice. Well, I have this out of my garage. Has an ice maker, but I don't have any water running to it. So I'm gonna do a video on showing you how you can tap in to a water line that's nearby. You want something that's exposed. You don't want something that's behind a wall or anything like that, because if there's a leak or anything like that, you want to be able to get to it quick and turn it off. I'm going to go over some things that I have. I'm going to put this in the tripod so that I won't have to hold it. There we go. So, like I said, there's the refrigerator. Next to it, I have this little closet. And you can see I got a water heater. My main water line comes in from the well, goes to the pressure tank, then goes through this 5-stage filtration system. I have another video on that, but on this one, on that video, I had a UV light. It's back in the corner because it kept leaking, so I took it out for the time being. So it's actually a 5-stage, but right now it only has 4 stages. But anyhow, then I have a water softener. Behind all that, let me see, I'm gonna have to pull the camera down to show you this, but the water comes in from the well, goes through this switch right here that determines pressure from the pressure tank. So if the pressure gets below, I think it's 40 psi, it triggers the well pump to come on and feed water back into the system until the pressure, I think, gets to 55 or 50 psi, and then the pump shuts off. And the pressure tank maintains the pressure on the house. So then once it leaves the pressure tank, it goes up into this 4-stage filtration system that takes out any minerals and stuff like that, and heavy metals and all that. Then it comes down and goes to the water softener and then heads into the house. What I want to do is I want to tap in after all that and then run a line. It'll go up and over the filter and then through the wall and then go to that refrigerator, so that I have ice in that refrigerator all the time. Just more ice. I mean, if like a company come over, I'll have extra ice. You could buy an ice machine or anything like that, but if you have a refrigerator in your house, and most refrigerators today have an ice machine, this will allow you to tap into it and have ice there too. So if you've got company, you'll have extra ice. So let me show you what I got. All right, so like I said, here's the water softener. Here's the line coming off of the filtration system. It comes across and then runs across this line right here and goes into the house. It has a little bit of play. It's actually a lot more play than I thought. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right here. Before you do anything, you wanna shut your water off. Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this is a bypass for the filter system. If I wanna run without the filter, I close this one, I close that one, and then I open that one. That gives me unfiltered water. Comes straight from the pressure tank or from the water softener. Actually, it goes water softener, then filter. But if I want to kill all water to the house, all I need to do is, which way? just turn that right there. So now that one's cut off and this one's cut off. So now I should have no pressure in the house. So what you want to do is go into the house and make sure you relieve the pressure in the house by opening up the faucet on the sink. Let it drain off all the pressure. Now you're going to need a few things. I love Sharkbites. This is a Sharkbite 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch T valve. You can buy this on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. I think $5 or $6, maybe $7. Maybe not. I don't remember, but you can get them on Amazon. They're not, no, that's right. It was, I think it was more like 16. I don't know. I'll put a link down in the comments. Sharkbites are a little more expensive, but they're a whole lot more convenient. Number one thing is I'm going to be doing this on PEX. If you have PEX, this is one of the best things to use. If you have copper, you can use what's called a saddle valve, and it's a valve that goes over the copper, and then there's a T-handle that you screw in, and it has a pointed end, and it actually punctures the copper, and then when you open it back up, that sends the water through. This is just a regular T valve that'll shut the water off, but it just slips right on the copper. Now this slips on the copper too, so with the saddle valve, you don't have to cut the copper. Then, so I have, get this, I'll tell you why I got this in a minute. This is to cut my PEX pipe. Here's the tubing. Hopefully I got enough. And which should be enough. Yeah, I think this is 25 feet. This is a 13mm wrench. That's for this hex right here, compression fitting for the tubing. And then when you buy the tubing, which I'll put a link in the comments, the tubing comes with these. You could put a shut-off valve behind the fridge if you want. This valve will take care of that. But if you don't have enough tubing, you can actually use this union to actually add more tubing if you need to. Then you have this fitting to go on the back of the fridge if you need it. So the first thing I got to do, this. So because this is 1/4 inch tubing, I can use a thick screwdriver to poke a hole. What I'm going to poke in up high, because I want to be able to have a loop, and that way if there's any kind of problems I won't get water running back. But I'm going to poke a hole through there and then through the other wall. And because this tubing comes in a coil, it's going to be really hard to put it through the wall. So what I do is I run this through the hole in the wall and then push the tubing on it to get it through the wall. And that'll keep it from coiling, and it'll just come right out the other end. I'll show you that in a minute. So I got to pull the old fridge out. So now I've got to see if I can put this in here. I wonder if I can. So this right here, which happens to be covered by everything. See if I can come back some. All right, so I'm gonna tap into this hose right here. This is the hose that comes off the filter system and goes right into the house. The most important thing is to make sure you know what size hose you have, so you know what size T connector. I had bought a 1/2 inch. Now that I'm looking at it, it's 3/4 inch, and I had to go get a 3/4 inch. So now I got the water off, got the drain, got the house pressure down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Should not have any water. So I'm going to put this about right here. Might leak a little. There you go. Just a little extra water. So now, all Sharkbites have this little plastic, it's already installed here, but that goes inside the pipe. But what I've got to do is I've got to measure to the inside, which is going to be right to the inside of this indentation here. So if I have this here pushed all the way in, I have to cut this about right here. And I've got a little bit of, this doesn't give me a lot of room to play, does it? Nope, it doesn't. So if I have this here, I'm going to have this about right here. Let's see a little. So I see my little line. Cut that off. Well, got this valve closed. I think we're good. Now, we're going to come off of here with our hose. But first, we need to make a hole in the wall. All right, so now we're going to go poke a hole through here. We're probably going to go about right here. So I want to make sure I get it right on both sides. So we're going to go down 24 inches. This 24 inches about right here, and it'll be over 5 inches. So I'm just going to take a screwdriver that's about 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little more, because it will surpass the thickness of this hose. That's all I need. And I'm just going to pop it through the wall. Just like that. Then we're going to go on the other side where the fridge is. Do the same thing. Tape measure. Now I'm going to take this kebab skewer and I'm going to put it all the way through. There you go. Now I'm going to take this. Got a little zip tie on it. Like I said, your hose, this 1/4 inch hose can be really coiled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it on this skewer as far in as I can go. Now, it does help if you have somebody, but if your wall is not that thick, like this isn't that thick, this is just a 2x4 wall. Most of the wall in this house is 2x6. You can hold it on the end and try to push it through just like that. That'll keep that hose straight so you can go through the wall. I need to make sure that I have enough line that comes over and down, and it looks like I'm going to have just enough. So on this line, on the end of this, you want to put, you want to put the nut first, the thread side out. Put the nut on first. Then the compression fitting. And you want to push the compression fitting up enough that you know, you'll have enough hose to go into the T-handle. You want to make sure it's out of the way of everything. Make sure it goes all the way down. And then you can push the nut down on there. Once you feel the nut tighten up, you only need to give it like 1/4 to 1/2 turn. You don't need to really torque it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull more of this hose through. That should be enough right there. Now let's look at the fridge side. All right, so all we do is nut has a compression fitting inside it. Put this through it with the threads facing out. Because the hose should go down inside, not like that. Then put our nut, put our compression fitting on it. down. And it figures it's a different size. Hail to the crescent wrench. Should be good. So let's turn on some water and see what we got. We got no leaks, so now we need to let the water run through the water portion of the refrigerator, because I need to make sure it's cleaned out. This fridge has been sitting in here for probably 4 years without water in it. So I've cleaned out the ice machine, cleaned that completely out, scrubbed it down. It's all clean. But I've got to make sure this water line is clear. There it goes. It'll take a little bit. All right, so all I got left to do now is turn the ice machine back on, which is inside here. There's a little button. Push the fridge back. And we're done. Now we just gotta wait for the ice machine to make some ice, and I'll have a full ice tray out here if I need it. Got any questions, hit me up and subscribe. Talk to y'all later.